I've read a lot of Stephen King books, and I'm down to the last 17. I'm going to rank them in order of which I am least excited to read them in to the most excited to read them. So let's get started. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Zach with Zacks Books, and today I am I am ranking in order of least anticipated to read to most anticipated to read of the last 17 Stephen King books I have, well, to read. I am including short story collections. I am not including any non-fiction stuff, so like On Writing is not going to be in this, or Danse Macabre isn't going to be in this, or Secret Windows, whatever. It's not going to be in this list. These are strictly just either collections or novels. I have 17 left. I have some I'm very excited to get to, and some that I am not anticipating to get to. I'm going to try and do this in under 10 minutes, not including the intro, so don't count this. So I'm going to give vague descriptions of the books. So if you're looking for deep dive descriptions of the books, we'll have as many linked down below as possible. If you want to read any of the, synopsis or whatever, take a look down and below. But otherwise, I'm going to keep this pretty vague. So I'm going to try and get done in under 10 minutes. So let's get started. All right. Start the timer, I guess. Luckily, in 17th, 16th, and 15th, I've got the Bill Hodges trilogy. So I've not heard I don't want to say the greatest stuff about this trilogy, but I have not heard the best about this trilogy. So I don't really have the biggest excitement to get to it. But out of the other ones compared, I would say this whole trilogy is the least one I'm excited to get to. So in 17th, 16th, and 15th, you have the Bill Hodges trilogy. Alright, coming in 14th is The Stand, the Cut Edition. Only reason this is on this list so far low is there's no audiobook, so I have to read all 900 pages freehand and physically, and I am the slowest physical reader ever. I literally am going to need like a whole month to read this, so that's why it's so low. 14th place, The Stand, the Cut Edition. Alright, in 13th place, I've got The Bazaar of Bad Dreams. I do not know a whole lot about this collection. The cover looks really cool, but I do not know any of the stories that's really in this. Nor am I going to use the time up in my 10 minutes here to try and look up what's in it. So, in 13th place, The Bazaar of Bad Dreams. Alright, in 12th place, I have got Everything's Eventual. Out of the you'll notice I've got a lot more of I don't want to say recent stuff, but collections that I don't really hear the best about is towards the beginning here. Everything is Eventual. I just have not heard the greatest amount of stuff in here. I think it's 14 stories in here. Yeah, it says it right there, 14 Dark Tales. But I don't know a whole lot about the collection, and I want to try and get to it eventually, but it's towards the bottom of my list. So Everything's Eventual is sitting in 12th place. In 11th, I actually already did a flip. 11th place is Sleeping Beauties. Not a lot of people like this book. He wrote it with Owen King. A lot of people's opinion is Owen King wrote this book and Stephen King just kind of threw his name on it so it would sell better. That's what I hear about this book. So we'll see how it goes. I have no idea. But yeah, in 11th, we've got Sleeping Beauties. The one I flipped it with, in 10th place, we have got The Dark Half. I actually started this book, and I stopped reading it. The reason why I did the flip is because a lot of people have said The Dark Half is actually pretty good, but I just have not really saw myself trying to get back to it super quick, but I really would like to. So, there you have The Dark Half in, what place? 10th? 10th place. Alright, we're in top 10-ish territory. Well, I guess that was 10. We got 9 left. So coming up in 9th place, we have got Hearts in Atlantis. I've heard some decent things about this book. Nothing really super duper bad about it, but also nothing really staggering. I want to say I did a really long talk with for the love of reading at the time. I think his name was Reading Funk or something like that. And he said this was his all-time Stephen King favorite book. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's got to have some good stuff in it. Yeah, no. Again, this is another short story collection, so don't know what's fully in it. I think Low Men in Yellow Coats is in this. But yeah, definitely want to get to this eventually. It is sitting in 9th place. Okay, in 8th, we're starting into the books that I'm real excited to try and get to. Lissy's Story. This is supposedly it's a love story. I actually started this book in I think freshman year because my school had it in the library, and at the time I would just check out Stephen King books and basically not even read them. So this book is about an author's wife who passed away. I'm going to try and get into some more plot with these other books because I just needed to get through those ones that I'm not really super excited about. So Lissy's Story, as far as I know, is about a author's wife who's a widow. Husband died, that makes her a widow, I believe. And basically she's going through his stuff in the attic, and a lot of weird stuff happens. A lot of people really enjoy this book. A lot of people say if you're an author and you read this book, it's really touching. So, yeah, Lissy's Story in what place? 8th. All right. Okay, we are at the halfway point, and I'm over halfway done with the books, but I'm going to be giving plot now. So, coming in 7th place, we have got Nightmares and Dreamscapes. This is a thick boy. It is a short story collection. I think there's 20-something stories in here. I was going to try and do this for October, but a lot of things have come up, and I still need to read it. So this is not going to happen this year for October, but I'm going to try and do it maybe next year. Hopefully I just read it before then. But yeah, short story collection, Nightmares and Dreamscapes. Hardcover looks really, really cool. So on to the next one. Actually, that was in 7th place. In 6th place, I have got Revival. What I have heard with this book is this is basically his version of Frankenstein. That's what I've been hearing a lot with this book. I have almost read this probably 7 times. I've probably had this on 9 TBRs, and I just have not read it. So, yeah, as far as I know, it's his adaptation of Frankenstein. So, Revival. Alright, next up, a lot of you guys are probably going to be confused why I'm putting this one second. Black House, the book he wrote with Peter Straub. This one, supposedly, has got more Dark Tower references than The Talisman does. But I personally just want to read The Talisman before I read this. Basically, a lot of people say I don't really need to, but I want to because it's the first book, so I'm going to, which I'll be coming up shortly. But yes, Black House is definitely a book I want to get to. There's a lot more. It's in the future of The Talisman. Jack Sawyer, I think, is a little bit older, I believe. Yeah, Jack Sawyer. But yes, I definitely want to get to this book, but first I gotta get through The Talisman, so you'll see that in a second. So, there you have Black House. Okay, in 4th place, I have got Bag of Bones. So a lot of people really enjoy this book. A lot of people say it's solid. I want to say it's a divorce story. I actually don't remember what this is 100%, but I've heard a lot of good things about this book, so I definitely want to get to this, and it sounds very intriguing to me. But I'm blanking on the complete plot of this book. But I've heard a lot of people really enjoy this book. It usually falls in people's top 10s by what I've seen, so excited to get to this one. In 4th place, Bag of Bones. Okay, top 3 territory. The third Stephen King book that I want to get to is The Talisman. So I want to get to this book mainly because it just sounds intriguing. I also want to read it because of the whole Peter Straub thing, him passing away. This was supposed to be a trilogy, but now it's not going to happen, at least with Peter Straub being a part of it. Maybe King will write it for him, maybe. I don't know. But we're getting close on crunch time here, so The Talisman, definitely a book I want to get to and address. So, third place, The Talisman. Alright, top 2 territory. You probably know what number 1 is. But number 2, I am putting Doomakey. So this is about an artist. I think he's a construction worker. He loses his arm, and then he becomes an artist. And the things he starts, like, drawing, like, start coming to life or something like that. Some weird stuff starts happening. It's a Stephen King book. You know the gist. Weird stuff happens. So, in second place is Doomakey. Okay, I think we got maybe a minute left. And in first place, no duh, you all saw it coming, 11/22/63. You all want me to read this book. None of you guys, like, all of you guys just, like, will not, like, be quiet about this book. You all want me to read it. It's all in, like, your top 10s. A lot of you guys really enjoy this book. Some of you guys even have this as your favorite book. But definitely one I want to get to. I'm planning to possibly read it around this date, around my birthday probably. Maybe my birthday weekend I'll read it. Eek. But yeah, I definitely need to read this. This is about a guy who tries to stop the John F. Kennedy assassination back in 1963. So there you have 11/22/63. Alright. That was a mouthful. I did it in, Danielle told me, 9 minutes and 55 seconds. Holy crap. Okay. Imagine if I had to give plot for all the books. I did my best with some of the plots towards the end, but there's just so much, and I was trying to get it in under 10 minutes. I'm honestly surprised I did. I think I lucked out with the Hodges trilogy all being back to back to back. Yeah, let me know if you have not read If you have not read every Stephen King book, let me know the book you are most excited to get to. Obviously, as you guys saw, 11/22/63 is the top dog for me. Everybody wants me to read it, and I'm really excited to try and get to it. I'm hopefully going to try and get to it at the end of the year, along with The Talisman and Doomakey and all that stuff. So, yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode of Zocktober. Later.